Mike Donatello, sorry, wrong link. Let me see. All right. Nearly a third of men under 30 aren't having sex. Let's see.
A third of men under the age of 30 are not having sex. That number has tripled in the last decade. We live in the most saturated society we've ever lived in. And yet there are fewer men than ever who are having sex. Fewer men.
I don't know how she figures we're living in the most sex-filled society. If you look at like advertisements and even movies, especially like B movies, but even mainstream like Hollywood productions, the amount of sex in movies and advertising like 20 years ago, or more, even 30, 40 years ago, was way more. Things are getting toned down recently. So I don't know what she means by that. And I mean, like, especially when you're seeing far fewer men, at least within a certain age group, having sex. Like, what does she mean by sex filled society?
And under the age of 30. Just because you watch a lot of sex online or you see a lot of naked women on TV, movies, whatever, that doesn't mean that you're going to have a lot of sex with women. At the same time, there's
I've thought of this a lot, and I think I know exactly why you're seeing a lot of men under 30 not having a lot of sex. Women who are like in their fucking teens, especially, are awful. I remember trying to date when I was in my teens, and I was one of the few guys my age who even had the courage to like talk to women. I didn't really ever care about getting rejected. I'm just not the type of person to take it personally, and I'm fine with conflict and butting heads. So I remember every single one of my friends who was dating in high school. The only reason they were dating is because they were first friends with a girl that they were going to school with and had a class with. They didn't just talk to girls and try to like get a date or anything. No, like they would just associate with people in class like you'd normally would anybody. Then they'd just become friends with certain people and then they'd just start dating. So now when you have things like Instagram, I guess Facebook's kind of going out, but you've just got sort of a different generation where rather than like using social media like Facebook to communicate with friends, it's become a little more antisocial now where you actually meet friends online. There's less of an interest in actually finding real people friends, and you have kids that are a little bit more sensitive. So when you're dealing with shit like bullying, where not only does it happen in school, uh, now it also happens online. So, like, your bullies can follow you home essentially, and then it can actually make the bullying in school even worse. So, I think you're just finding a lot of younger men, especially, just not particularly interested in being outgoing and associating with a lot of like different people and trying to talk to girls. And at least for, that period of time when they're in their teens and early 20s, they're fine mostly with just coping with like porn and watching like anime or something. I think that's what it is. 'Cause I remember dating girls like, or trying to date girls my age when I was in my teens and early 20s. Like, most of them are fucking horrible. They're incredibly selfish. Um, they do like when you try to talk to them, like they do the shit. Why do you watch that? That's a boring thing to do. Cars are stupid. Like, that music sucks. Like, yeah, like why the fuck as a guy who, like why would you put up with that, especially if you're a little more sensitive and you can meet people that you get along with better online. So I think that's what's happening. It's just a symptom of a lot of people kind of being shitty, and dudes just aren't really willing to put up with it anymore, so they're just finding most of their friends and relationships purely online.
Also, if it would help, I am willing to pay for more songs. It is possible that if you were to just eat fruits and veggie juices slash smoothies, it might help to rebalance your brain chemistry.
I doubt it, James. I did used to eat like that. I used to eat almost a like purely raw vegan diet where I was just eating almost nothing but fruit. That did not help with my depression. What helped with my depression most was cycling, which is why I became insanely obsessed with it. I kept doing more and more and more to cope with the depression too, and then it just got to a point where I couldn't sustain it. Um, but yeah, I'm just trying to be more physically active throughout the day. Like I got the rollerblades. Um, so I've been trying to get out and take my rollerblades wherever I go, and like if I go to a store, I'll just bring my rollerblades with me, and if there's like a nice parking lot, I'll just roll around for a while and then come back home. But I've never really noticed too much of a difference when it comes to dietary changes in my mental state. Um, like it does make a bit of a difference. Like if I eat nothing but fucking garbage, like yeah, I'll feel like shit. But like what I'm eating right now, I think is pretty much as ideal as you can get. Um, but yeah, I'm just trying to do some more cardio and shit. That seems to be the best for improving my mood.